Hello, Lauren and Tate. Here's your sewer scope from today's inspection. We're down in the basement. It's a nice open basement. Unfortunately, the clean out is tucked underneath the utility sink. Somewhat cramped to be able to get to, but no worries. We got to it just fine. There's the access port right in there, clean out cap. Easy enough to drop in there. Good quality ABS pipe. I'm not running any water, although I could have run the utility sink because it's right there. But I always like to try to push through dry first. Get a little better view that way. It doesn't create any issues or anything like that for visibility. It's only when it's a really dirty pipe or if it's got a lot of twists and turns and I need a little help getting through there that I'll run a volume of water. But all in all, this is pretty good. Like we said earlier, like we talked about, unfortunately, I'm having issues with my camera and the counter. It's spotty if it works. It's been going off and on. I imagine that there's a connection somewhere that's loose that I have to dig into. But we don't have a foot counter on this. I would imagine that from point A to point B, we're close to 90 feet in looking at it. Just my experience, knowing the length of cable that I had left, I would say that that's a fairly decent shot there. We're transitioning over to PVC. So we went from ABS to PVC. Really not uncommon in a house that was built in the mid-'80s for that to happen in our area. By the early to mid-'80s, they've gotten away from cast iron and clay and all of that. So everything is plastic at this point. So as such, you'll have really very little concern about any root growth or anything like that. If you do see roots in a plastic pipe like this, you've got bigger issues. Likely that there's a failure in the pipe somewhere, either at a connection point that's pulled apart or if there's damage in the line and the roots are able to get into the line. But no concerns at this point. The pipe's in good shape. The orange-ish streak that you see right now, it's about at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, somewhere in and around there. That's the bottom of the pipe. Just all in all, pretty good. No dents and dings on the top of the pipe. Sometimes when they're backfilling the trench after they lay this, the backhoe driver gets a little bit in a rush and they drop the aggregate or backfill from too high up a position. You can damage the pipe. Don't see any of that, not even any little dents and dings, which from time to time you'll see some pock marks on the top of the pipe, but nothing to that end. Connection points look good. PVC and ABS are obviously smooth sides, right? So it's not like a cast iron pipe that gets bumpy over time that's going to start to catch things. This is very smooth, so everything tends to wash through. As you read through, or if you've already read through the written report, my recommendation is going to be you might want to come back in 2 to 3 years, just as a little housekeeping, just to see what things look like in here. But all in all, everything is good. And here's our final drop, a very typical two-stage drop into the city connection. And there's the city main right there. Again, from start to finish, point A to point B, I have no concerns. Didn't see any damage. I always look through the video at least 2 times prior to voicing over it. and everything looked great. No issues, no cracks, anything along those lines. I'm going to keep the camera rolling as I pull back. You're more than welcome to watch the return trip. As always, please reach out to me with any questions or if I can be of service.